And welcome back to the We'll Take It From Here podcast. Another week, another episode. However, first, we are going to bring you our show's sponsor, because this episode is brought to you by Honest Supplements. Now, Joe, what's Honest Supplements? Well, let me tell you. In a world that is plagued by new illness outbreak every other day, it's important to keep your body performing at its best with the right vitamins and supplements. However, these products can get expensive, especially with rising prices all around us. Honest Supplements has resolved that problem. They mark up all products by just $1, saving their members an average of 50% per product. Yes, that means that the protein you're paying $60 for is only $30 on their website. They have everything from vitamins, sports supplements, recovery, weight loss, CBD, and so much more. Timmy and I are both members and can advocate for the amount of money that you will save. And do we also mention that all products are third-party lab tested? Because that's the only true way to prove vitamins and supplements actually contain the ingredients that they claim. Don't wait. Go to Honest Supplements right now to join today and start taking better care of your health. And it's right. If you train jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, or just in the gym, you better be taking Honest Supplements. So go to their website, guys. All right. Now it's time for the show. And welcome back, folks. We'll take it from here. Episode 221.
Yes.
And we're doing a duo. And you guys know it. Best show in the world. Going to make you think. It's going to entertain you. I don't think I really need to repeat that all the time. But it's the truth because I'm going to manifest that. I'm going to put it in your brain.
It's our routine. It's how we start.
It's our routine. Exactly. Take your Honest Supplements, guys. Make sure you're training your jiu-jitsu and your fucking MMA and Muay Thai, or going to the gym, and make sure that you're a healthy human being. And then when you're done being healthy, destroy it with those Oreos. Anyway.
Or whatever else you want to eat. It doesn't have to be Oreos.
Yeah, well,
dude,
Oreos,
I go through phases of Oreos where, like, Sam and I are on the same page. It's like Oreos. Like, all right, we can't touch those for like 3 months.
Yeah.
We got a pack last weekend, and it was gone within 24 hours.
Are you a Chips Ahoy or an Oreos guy?
Oreos.
Okay.
Hands down.
Hands down?
Dude, Oreos are like, they're vegan, but like they're one of the worst things for you. Like the worst.
Vegan? What the fuck?
Yeah, they are. You can have, like, cookies have eggs in it typically.
Yeah.
So that's like, Oreos aren't cookie or egg based. So you can have them.
So then what the fuck are they making that icing with?
That's why they're the worst fucking food for you.
They're horrible.
If you look at any of the apps that score food, Oreos are always like a 0%.
Jesus.
Yeah, they're terrible, but they're amazing. They're so good. I have a perfect recipe for a milkshake, like Oreo milkshakes.
Well, tell me it right
6
now.
Oreos, 6 double stuffed Oreos.
Oh.
Typically, you can do the regular ones. Either one works, but 6 of them, and like depending on your size, scoop 2 to 3 scoops, and then you gotta hit the glass right with the milk. But then you just gotta pick your level of thickness.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, 6 Oreos for the milkshake.
6 Oreos for the milkshake.
Yeah.
That's a nice cookies and cream milkshake, which is fire. Disgustingly amazing. I love that.
You need calories? There you go.
Fuck yeah, dude. I will destroy.
Dude, I was going through this
milkshake.
the other. This is not the topic at all that we're going into, but we'll start with it. I don't remember. Did I talk about this on the podcast? I think I talked about it. I had 5 guys. I got 5 guys. You can add an extra burger, extra patty for like $1 or something. Mm-hmm. So I got a 3 patty burger, cheeseburger, fries, and a Oreo milkshake, and it was like 3,400 calories in one meal.
Oh my god!
So I'm like asking ChatGPT, how many calories? 3,400. I was like, how many calories should I have in a day as an athletic 35-year-old male at 170 pounds? And like 2,800 calories.
Yeah,
so one meal was over.
Jesus Christ,
my daily
dude!
Consumption.
Holy fuck!
Yeah,
that was probably the best 3,400 calories you've ever eaten.
My problem too is I don't always eat enough calories. So like I don't mind doing that, but then the problem is I do that too often, and then it starts to catch up to me.
So that's the thing, man. You always have to keep it in balance, and that's like everything.
Moderation. Everything.
Yeah, moderation. Even moderation.
Moderation. Everything. Including moderation. Yeah.
So let's go on to the topic. We were going to talk about
the wild world we're living.
Oh yeah, the world, and more so the inability for people to hear other thoughts. Not saying that you have to change your mind. Entrenched, right? Not saying you have to change your mind. Not saying you have to agree with anyone says. Not saying that you have to accept things that are blatant lies and not factual. It's like calling that out is fine. It's more so when you embed yourself into an ideology so much, and then when that ideology starts to show differences, the inability to be like, I still like this ideology, I don't agree with this, and this is not what I like.
Blindly following an ideology,
which happens on both sides.
It happens. Well, it doesn't even happen. It happens everywhere. You go to church and like you got fucking priests molesting little kids. Right, that's the standard go-to one, right? Mm-hmm. Right, that's not in Christianity, but it happens. But people like, okay, well, the priest is doing it, so I guess it's okay. Like they don't know better. They don't know, like or question it. And
what they'll say is they'll be like, oh, well, that's it's bad, but that's like a very minority. And it's like, yeah, it is a minority, but it shouldn't happen. Yeah. Right. Like,
but it's or like the mega churches that have like fucking private planes and shit. Like, and they're asking for money donations. It's like, you're no longer doing the Lord's work. You're being greedy. Mm-hmm. Right. But you don't question it because you go into this church and all this stuff. It's like, have a belief system, but you need to be open-minded to test the theories. Yeah. Like in engineering and all the stuff I do is you have a theory, but you have to test and prove it out. And in any science-based stuff, I forget the actual understanding of this. And sorry, everyone, I'm still coming off of being sick.
You're trooping it, man.
Dude, I had vertigo for a week after having the flu. So I'm a little still foggy, but so I forget, the laws of physics, there's very few actual laws. Everything else is just the theories. Like even gravity, right? We know what gravity is. Like it exists, but they don't know the exact full details of what it really is and how it all works. We just have a theory on the mechanics behind what makes gravity. So they're all theories. You don't ever come to a full conclusion of for a fact this is going to be the same way every time.
Yeah, that's a good point too. There's a lot of theories that we accept as fact because it's given to us as fact, and by the institutions or people that give it to us, we trust them, so we have no reason to think that there would be a lie, right? Yeah, and that's also dangerous, and that starts to have a great rabbit hole of what we've been lied to over the years.
I mean, the go-to one is the COVID vaccine, safe and effective. Okay, well, it was not effective, which it was not safe, out, and it was not safe, which they have now proved. But they tried to hide that. But then it's behind the stats. Okay, they're saying it was 80% effective or 80% safe or whatever. Okay, that's 80% of the trials I did. Every batch is different. You may have an issue in every batch, and it's those are statistics that you're getting. Those aren't facts. Those are extremely educated guesses, depending on the variety of how it's done. But that's why you have to look into studies and how they do it. You can't just blindly accept this doctor did this test, and he said the results was that this medication is amazing and has no side effects and is 100% effective. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's never going to be true. There's a small chance that's true, but it's never going to be 100% effective because you don't know. You can't account for everything.
And also take into consideration, let's stay on the vaccines, especially the one with the COVID, that the developers of these vaccines are now immune to being sued.
Yeah. So profit driven with no incentive to be safe.
Exactly. And correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure they are absolved from, they are immune. They cannot have any legal cases against them. So a good thing to do is...
That's my understanding.
Yes, that's my understanding as
well.
I
don't want to say yes like I know.
No, but I'm pretty sure that's right on the ball. Yeah. Now, if you do that, right, if you're about to decide whether you're going to take it or not, and you want to blindly trust your doctor because you trust your doctor, right? Yeah. Either if out of malicious intent or not doing, ignorance and just not wanting to challenge the status quo, you could sort of challenge the status quo by being like, should I take something that the company that made it cannot be sued for? Probably not. That's a little weird for me. You have to work in the gray.
Well, it's okay. It's not necessarily probably not. It's you really had to convince me why this makes sense to do.
Sure, and if you can't do that,
okay,
it's hard.
Well, and this is the whole conversation which drives me nuts about the topic of vaccines. I don't care what your stance is, whether you're pro or for. If you're completely against all vaccines, I think you're a little naive and still on the fucking my team of no. If you're pro-vaccine, you're on my team of yes. You need to come into it agnostic, no opinion. You want to do whatever is the safest and most effective for you and your loved ones, right? That should be the goal. And you need to understand, okay, what are the things they're vaccinated for? Okay, cool. You have this list of sicknesses, illnesses, infections, whatever. Cool. how prevalent are those things in your area where you live and where you may go travel?
Mm-hmm.
We'll just start with the area because when you go travel, you end up getting stuff. You can get vaccines for those areas, and that's another conversation. Okay, how rampant is that? Okay, what are your chances of getting it? Okay, if you do get it, what are the symptoms and side effects of that? Right? Do you need to get a chickenpox vaccine? I've had chickenpox. Yeah. I'm alive. I have no fucking side effects from it. That at least I know of.
What's up?
Is this twitching? Is this working?
Why is it twitching?
I don't know.
Oh no. It is at 25%. We got to redo.
We're gonna pause here and restart the podcast.
All right, guys. So we're back, and we fixed the technical difficulty. So 221 episodes. You're always going to have mistakes, and we don't give a shit because we're going to keep it going here.
And we're not professionals.
Yeah, not yet.
Professional tech people.
Yes.
That's what I mean.
Hell yeah.
And I'm also proud of us, too, is when we look back at the footage, it looks like it was only like 10 seconds of issues. So I don't know why my 6 cents went off. But I was
thank you, because my dumbass wanted to fucking delete it and start over. It was literally only 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
All right, so
that.
perfect. So you were saying about the
back to
vaccine
my rant. All right, I'm gonna shorten it back up. So we were talking about trying to decide what makes sense on stuff and not just being blindly following yes or no with vaccines, right? So chickenpox, do you need it? Probably not. I don't think there's a necessity behind it. And so it's like deciding whether it makes sense to get a vaccine. What's the chance of you getting it? If you do get it, how bad are you going to have symptoms of something? Is it deadly? Is it just potentially deadly? All that stuff. Okay, cool. Know that. Then you have the information about the vaccines. Does it prevent transmission? Does it prevent you? First, does it prevent you from getting it? Once you get the vaccine, you can't get it. Or is it like you are like 70% effective to not get it? Okay. If you definitely can't get it, okay, that makes sense. Then it's like, what are the side effects? So are the side effects worse than the actual disease, or is it minimal? Okay. But if you it doesn't prevent you from getting it, it just reduces your symptoms when you do get it. Like they say the flu shot, it helps your immune system fight the flu. Then what's the side effects? Because you got to compound, is the improvement over the prevent of getting the disease outweigh the side effects of the vaccine, right? Because like they say too, even with the flu, is like you may feel a little under the weather, run down a little bit a couple days after getting the vaccine. So like you got to count all that, right? But you have to come into this with understanding that there's a lot of factors that go into it before you make a decision. And it's infuriating when you have one side or the other saying, no, I'm never doing any of them, versus, no, I'm doing all of them. I don't care what you say. I'm like, no, they're perfect. It's like you gotta be open minded and understand like the full picture. And the real fucked up part about all the vaccine stuff is, this is the thing that drives me nuts. The data that we have is from the vaccine companies. We don't get to test the stuff. They do the test and then show us the test that they like the most. They get to pick and choose whatever. It's called cherry picking. They can cherry pick whatever data they want to show us. So even when they're bad data points, that's the best of what they have.
Yeah. It's fucked up, and that's where a lot of lying can come into play.
Yeah, like I'm not against anything, but you have to prove to me why it makes sense. You can't just tell me yes, it makes sense.
No, for sure.
If that's the case, I have a bridge I can sell you.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Because vaccines is just one part of what we're talking about. This is going on, right? You can see it going on with the current like war. You know, it's technically not a war, but it's a war, right? In your opinion, I'm just curious, where did it come from? Where did this whole divisiveness, hating the other side on social media, but then when you see them in real life, you don't hate them. Where did that come from, in your opinion?
I think it's just the area with social media, and then the main driving factors of our society. I'm going to say the main driving factors. I'm not going to say the people in charge or all the people pulling strings. It's the main driving factors, because it's right. A lot of the algorithms are programmed to just get your attention. Not all of it is based on fucking spyware and fucking government fucking overreach and psyop shit. Like some of the psyop stuff is there for sure, as we talked about with Dr. Gus, but like some of it is just like that's what gets people's attention. It doesn't necessarily have to be a psyop. It's just like, you know, there's a reason why sex sells and all the TV shows have fucking half naked women in it, regardless. Name a big popular TV show that doesn't have an attractive woman.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Name one.
I can't unless
it's a all gay TV show with it's just all men,
or like the My Fat Life or something.
Yeah,
you know, like the 600-pound
yeah,
people.
But I'm sure but still, like, but those aren't that big. Like, those are kind of big, but like I'm talking about like
I completely understand where you're going.
Name one of the big, like Game of Thrones, perfect example. Sopranos,
hot.
Fucking.
I say that only because I've seen a couple episodes. I have actually not watched Sopranos, but I know enough.
Did I know this?
Yeah, you know this.
Fucking A. He's not in New Jersey. I'm on. I'm really disappointed in you.
Hey, man. Look, let me tell you this. I think it's social media. I also think it's part of awareness. We talk about awareness, right?
Yeah.
That's how you can brainwash someone. Or brainwash isn't the word. Brainwash is the word. You hypnotize. It's hypnosis, right? And they understand that, they being the powers that be. And it's just been ramped. I think through social media, it gets ramped up because what happens? Your mind.
That's a tool that they can use.
Exactly. Because your mind gets so used to wanting to, what's it called? Like you get attached to the scrolling.
Yeah.
So all you're seeing is all the shit.
Dopamine hits,
The dopamine hits, what your algorithm's feeding you. And it's weird because the reason I asked you where that came from, and you gave the answer that I think it is. I've been driving around, and sometimes I'll drive around without the music or with the music, whatever. And I'm thinking of stuff, it's almost like we shifted into a completely different reality, which if you understand how quantum talks about shifts, it's not like 1 minute I'm here and then the other minute I'm like in fucking Mars, right? Or on Mars. Shifts happen like very subtly.
Yeah.
So subtly that you don't understand.
Subtly and quickly at the same time, though.
Yeah.
Like, look at the cell phones.
Oh, yeah.
Cell phones are 20 years old. Like, real modern day cell phones. I'm like, they had them in the 80s and 90s.
Sure.
But like,
sure.
I'm talking about like from the first common flip phone that I had. My dad got a cell phone and I got a hand-me-down. That was for like when we went out. And that was when I was in 8th grade.
Sure.
In high school, freshman year of high school. That's 2004.
Yeah.
22 years.
That's fucking insane.
22 years and went from you couldn't take a picture on it. Now you can fucking make movies on the phone.
Yeah. But
you can FaceTime your family on the other side of the planet.
100%. And that's why it's like, that's the beauty and the
short and fast, but also slow.
Yeah. And that's why I don't. Are we still good? I just want to make sure we're at 22.
It's going to be bouncing. Whatever. We'll deal with it. We'll figure out why another time.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. If it's, just so you know, if the video is fucking up, we don't know why.
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
All right, it is what it is. Anyway.
It doesn't like us talking about the government.
It doesn't like us talking about the government.
Just wait until we talk about Israel.
What is it? It's bothering me. It's bothering me. What's going on?
I don't know.
I got nothing here.
All right. Well, we'll just keep going, and the video might be a little choppy.
Yeah, the video is going to be choppy, guys. Sorry. Go to the audio. Anyway, what it is if it really feels like we're like in a different time. You used to be able to have disagreements and arguments and then put them aside. Now it almost feels like someone is your enemy now when they're not, and it's all by design. It's a little weird. It's a little weird going back to like the original topic we want to talk about is digging yourself in. You almost get to a point where you can't distinguish your original beliefs, and if your beliefs change, that's one thing, but you can't distinguish what is going against your beliefs. That you still believe in that, but you're seeing the opposite and you just don't want to admit it. And it almost takes away from your, what's it called? From your, it takes away from your argument. It delegitimizes it a little bit.
Yeah. Because
people see it for what it is. So I don't
know. Yeah, it's frustrating too because I kind of feel like that part has always been there where you're stuck in your party.
Sure.
I think things are a little open-minded to have conversations with, but it was, I think the polarizedness, the two different sides, I think was always there. I think that's well before our time to really know.
But he definitely was there. It was definitely just put on steroids, let's call it.
They said with the whole Mayan calendar, 2012 was like when the world ended, right? That's when Harambe was killed. I think it was 2012 as well.
No, 2016.
Oh, it was 2016. You know that off the top of your head. But I think there, for whatever reason, there was a big shift around that time. There's nothing you can put your finger on it. Like the cell phones came out. I think that was a huge factor. I think you got to see a lot more of the war stuff coming out from the cell phone footage and all that. Mm-hmm. So you can question things. The government didn't have like full power over what you were fed. So I think 2012, the Mayan calendar, like who knows what it really is, but I think there was a big shift around that time, and that's where a lot of those changes happened, where it's really aggressively shifted the world, and especially our culture here. Cell phones came out, internet was readily available, and like over the last 2012, so 14 years, right? Now you're seeing kids have a huge difference of upbringing. Thank you. Like I said, I'm a little fried. Upbringing. So the upbringing is drastically different than ours, and ours was different than our parents. Our parents didn't have any internet. We had some internet. We had MySpace. We didn't have. I had Facebook leaving high school, right?
Yeah.
Getting into college, and I had my first smartphone when I went to college. But you didn't have ChatGPT and all that. The kids are going up with chat bots that they can talk to, that they're falling in love with apparently, but they're on their phone. They're just doom scrolling all the time. Like, we didn't grow up with that. We got to go and live. So like there was a huge shift around that time. And now it's like that's a big factor now in just raising kids, is like managing them on on the internet and watching TV.
Yeah, and that also then plays into the less sociable aspect. Mm-hmm. You and even amongst adults, you're not that much. You're not seeing that many people with a jolly hi, jolly hi, just saying hi, like, hey, how you doing? Like, there's no interactions. There's fewer interactions than there were before, and that plays a big part of what a human experience is.
I also think too is I was just listening to Rogan, had some guy on, I forget what it is, one of his recent ones, talking about a whole bunch of hippie stuff, whatever you want to call it. But like no one daydreams or like have the random thought time, like driving in your car with no music on, thoughts. People don't do that anymore. If they're bored waiting in line at the airport, they're gonna scroll waiting for TSA, especially in that long ass line in Austin that they had. You see the lines for dude? There was like a TSA like a funding hold or something. So like there's apparently some really bad lines at some airports over the last couple of weeks. I think it's been fixed. Whatever. But like the whole point, you don't have boredom time anymore. You just have random thoughts or whatever. You're just doom scrolling. You come home, like maybe back in the day you would, just doodle or sketch or fucking, I don't know, whatever, play the guitar, and now you just come home and just doom scroll for 40 minutes before going to shower bed.
Yeah.
So I think that's a lot of it, because you're not thinking about stuff anymore. You're not spending the time, oh, that person said this thought, and like, let me really think about that. Did I really mean what I said there? Or like you hear the stuff on the news and you can digest it. There's no digestion time anymore.
No, there isn't. And that's like another thing that pisses me off about the news. Well, I don't watch the news anymore, but when I used to do it, it's never long spouts. It's no long segments. It's always short. On to the next thing. So you don't have time to process it, just like you said. Yeah. And also, what were you saying with like doom scrolling and all that? The zen, like your time in the morning has got to be time for you, your time at night. And we're all, what is it? We're all, what's the word I'm looking for? Guilty of this. Is I'll pick up the phone in the morning, right onto Instagram. Why? Whereas doing it takes your attention and brings it to whatever the fuck you're looking at, instead of just realizing you just woke up. That's when your brainwaves go from theta to alpha to beta. Yeah. You're shooting your brainwaves from theta right to beta because now you're focused in on something. Yeah. Whereas it needs to get there naturally, right?
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because like I remember when growing up, when I first started working, right, going through college and stuff, and you wake up and like, all right, I have to be at work at 8 o'clock. I'm waking up at 7:15, getting dressed, brush my teeth, getting out the door, and getting there at exactly 8 o'clock. And that you go from asleep to go mode. Mm-hmm. And like you see parents, friends, older people, they're like, no, you wake up, you have your morning coffee, you have your morning vacation. Yeah, I like to call it. like I started doing that. I'm like, oh, this is so much better.
So much
like
better.
Just wake up 15, 20 minutes extra early.
Yeah.
That's to go to bed 15, 20 minutes extra early then if that sleep's that important to you.
Yeah, 100%.
But like just don't. There's no reason to rush in the morning.
No, there isn't, and that's part of the thing too. That's what like comes. I feel like that's what drives what we're talking about. The topic is because whenever you're talking to someone now, they're aggressive. Everyone's aggressive because they're so used to being so focused and hyper focused and visualized on shit that it trickles into the conversations they're having. And I'm not saying that I've never done that. I'm definitely guilty of that myself, but I try to do my best, and I've always tried to. The one thing I will credit myself with is my ability to say when I'm wrong or change my tune based off of what my core standard is, right?
Yeah.
I can definitely call out shit that I don't like anymore while understanding what's a lie, right? And not agreeing with something just because it challenges my point, right? Because if the point that you're bringing in is bullshit, I'm not going to just accept it just because it's there to challenge my point, right? Yeah. But this is all because, what I'm saying this is relating back to this. Like when you're on this, you're only fucking focused on this, right? There's no what's it called? You're so driven to just one side, you can't really start distinguishing. And I don't know. I think it's a problem, man. I think it's a pretty big problem.
Yeah. I know it's a question I've been asking myself.
What is that?
Right. If you were the supreme leader of the world, what would you do that you could change anything?
Dude, it's like...
Okay, because there's shitty people out there. There's people that have terrible homes, terrible upbringings. Like, I honestly don't know the stuff I would drastically change. Like, there's, like, the stuff, like, okay, there's certain freedoms and stuff I think we need to lean more on and all that. But, like, overall, there's, like, no fucking smoking gun. Like, oh, I do this, everything's fixed. Right? There's people that starve across the whole world. There's people in this country that are poor, but they're fucking 400 pounds. So, like, the poor world solution isn't the same across the planet. Like, some people don't want the American culture. They want their, old school, like, tribal cultures and stuff. So, like, I don't know what I would do if I was actually
decentralized command. You allow everyone to take control of their own life and give them the liberties and opportunities, right, to actually live their own life. And whatever choices they make, that's their choice, right? They have free will to choose. So I understand you have a very good point. It's easier said than done, but I feel like all of this bullshit, like, oh, we'll just take our medicine because we're the government. Just take our medicine because, the pharma, needs to make their money and blah, blah, blah. All these regulations, you take that away and you let the people choose for themselves, bro. Like, decentralized command is the best way to do it, but no one's ever gonna fucking do that. Why? Well, because when you have that much power and you're that fucking rich, you just crave more power. I'm talking about, like, if you were the supreme leader of 8 billion people, you're fucking playing God at that point.
The other thing too is some people don't want freedom. They don't want to have the responsibility of having to think about stuff. They want to just be told what to do and just go through their day. And there's nothing wrong with that either. But like, so that's the thought I've been having.
Yeah, but
there's no clear, easy solution to anything. There's a whole bunch of, there's a lot of wrong answers, but there's no like specific right answer.
Yeah, it's weird. It is weird. It's almost like, it's like what you said, dude. At the end of the day, people almost don't want a solution. They want to pretend like they support a solution so people think they're a good person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's a lot of that too.
A lot of moral high ground, social justice.
Yeah.
Is that the right word? Social justice or something?
Yeah. I mean, there's the victim mentality too.
Yeah. People like, it's like you said, people like they don't want to take control, so they like to be their own victim.
Yeah. It's the victim mentality, and then it's like, also if you don't want to be in control and have to think about it and then worry about making the mistakes and figuring out like if you didn't have to cook and you come home and you have a chef, like, what are we making today? Here's what I got you. I don't want that. Make me something else. You don't have to think. You have zero fucking adult responsibility there. Yeah. Like if you go out and just go out to eat at dinner every night, you have to pick the restaurant and then pick food. Cool. But like, you're not making anything. Like, it's like that, like, it's all luxury. There's no struggles there.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Fuck.
All right, I think we should probably end that now with all this spazzy monitor. Sorry, everyone, if you're watching.
Sorry about that.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we're going to figure it out. All right, guys, that's it. Remember, eat your Wheaties. I don't know why I said that. Anyway, take responsibility for your actions if I'm going to be serious. Honestly.
Don't. Yes, but like, don't. It happens all the time. Don't play victim.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't matter what the circumstances. You can be a victim, like we were talking about the story before about the sexual harassment stuff. Yes, you are a victim when something happens to you like that, but don't play the victim card. Yeah, this happened to me. Okay, but you're no longer in the victim state, right? You had this, and like you deal with trauma and all, but you have to go be proactive on improving your life.
Mm-hmm.
If you stay in that victim mentality and you're in the victim state, you're not going forward and trying to make your life better. You're saying, my life is the worst. I have it the worst. No one understands me. So this is just what it is.
Yeah.
Like that's the difference. It's not saying you aren't a victim. It's the victim mentality isn't the mode to move forward. And so like it's not talking bad. It's not talking down to anyone that is a victim, because everyone in their own right has been some level of a victim in one way or another. It doesn't matter who you are, where you are, you have been a victim in some way or another. Some people just had a lot worse hands dealt to them. And there's nothing wrong with any of that. Just don't get stuck in the mindset. Like, okay, you were sexually raped as a kid. Cool. Or not cool. Sorry, not cool. Okay, you're dealing with this. You can be stuck dealing with this your whole life and just, oh, woe is me. Or you can figure out how we can move forward, how you can figure out ways to make your life in a better place instead of just being stuck in doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just getting out of the victim mentality mindset, ultimately.
Love it. All right, guys, you heard it here. We'll see you next week. Sorry about the video. Don't know what we're going to be doing on it. You may see it. You may not. We'll see. But that's what the show is about. Just fucking being real. Love you guys. See you next week.